Hi everyone. This is the landing page of iCollect platform. What we have here is a bunch of information about the platform, number of apps that we have, how many streams that this platform ingesting at this point in time, number of dashboards and charts, a number of KPIs that are enabled on this platform. We also have the volume of data that we have ingested today and also the number of events. When we click My Apps, we see that there is an e-commerce app already installed here. Clicking on which, we go to the landing page for the e-commerce application or the e-commerce solution. Think of this as an executive summary for the entire e-commerce business. We see there are a bunch of indexes here like click depth, recency, duration, and others. These are very helpful in terms of understanding how the business is operating at this point in time. Please note that all of these charts, every single thing within this platform gets updated on a second basis. We can obviously change that granularity to minute or hour, but the basic ingestion speed or the reflection speed for the data points on the platform is per second basis. This is more like a single pane of glass for the e-commerce company. But apart from that, the e-commerce app comes bundled with various KPIs, different charts, different aggregation analysis, many patterns that we set upfront. So these apps are available on the shelf and you can take it from the App Store, the iCollect App Store, and get started within few minutes after configuration. Now, how do we configure this app? We can just quickly go to the app setting and you see that there are instructions for different languages. Now this is for JavaScript. We follow pretty much the Google model where we give JavaScript which can be cut and pasted in various different pages or the include header. And once this is done, all the clickstream data, the pixel data, this platform starts ingesting immediately. So it is as simple as that. Now going beyond that, for many different custom events that typically any e-commerce company would generate, there we follow Adobe Omniture model, where we have a basic tag management system and the APIs and the tags defined. And after configuring that, we would start ingesting those custom data as well. Let's go to the dashboard section. The application comes bundled with various data points and KPIs. We can think of this app as a solution which is ready to go. Now we see that there are around 10 or 12 dashboards over here, and each dashboards will have a bunch of KPIs or charts. But we are not limited by the number of dashboard or the chart. We can add as many dashboards, as many charts as we require. So there is an extensibility part which is built in to this platform natively. Now let's see some of these dashboards. Let's see the overview section. The overview section, again, it is more like a business overview, and here we have bunch of information like on the visitors, on the session, on the pages, and you can keep digging down. So for example, this is a page viewed information, and if I click on this one, I go and analyze the customer belonging to that particular event. So, and this again will have bunch of information here. How do I analyze the behavior of the user, the different pixel points generated by the user, and there are a bunch of other things that we can do while going into score analysis. Now let's get back to the overview page. We see, the daily active pages. Now it is one day granularity. We can go here and we can change that. There is a returning versus new customers. There is a device type based analysis, and there are several other bunch of information over here. Order related ones, and the if you want to visualize based on different journey taken by different users, the traffic flow, and also the site profiling. This is very important because sometimes we also need to understand the efficacy of business is actually directly linked with the system performances. Now this is not only limited with these connection time and domain lookup time, but we can also add like the server monitoring, the firewall monitoring, the log monitoring. All those things could be added separately. After that, let's see customer analysis page. Now here we are understanding the behavior of the customer, as we said earlier. This we can cover later in the demo as well. This is the product analysis page. Bunch of information about the product and 10 different popular products. You could make it 20 or 5 different popular products. The category-wise sales information and sales by month, seller. There are many different slices and dices over here. But again, as I said earlier, you can keep adding more and more data points, different slices based on your own requirements. So this is the overview of order analysis, where we get order versus time and some of the information which the typical category owners or the head of sales or marketing they're bothered about. And you would like to also jump in and find out the details of any raw details of a given order at any given point in time. And again, this is divided by country, by city, and device type, and various other dimensions. Now beyond that, we also want to analyze the cart. So this is order analysis by cart. This actually gives a different dimension to the way we look at order, and we figure out the various other data points related to the various orders which are not being getting completed, but they are potential orders because the items are in the cart. The checkout. Now we want to understand what is the order funnel. We also want to see the popular products by checkout values, average checkout values, and many other different things you can keep adding here. This is discount, and we all know that this is very important information for any e-commerce company. Now the good point here is that we can actually understand the discount given and their ROI in real time can help us restructuring the discount model in order to maximize the order. And finally, the cancel order. We would like to see the details of the cancel order. We would also like to see the visitor. This is visitor analysis. Now again, there are many dimensions here. This is the overview page of the visitor. We see bounce rate, abandoned checkout, active sessions, and abandoned carts, number of visits per page, returning versus new, bounce rate, how bounce rate is changing with time, average views, conversion rate, and then we can see all these information using different dimensions. So for example, if we select OS and network, we see the same information with the OS and network dimension, operating system and service provider. This is by geolocation, country-wise detail, state-wise detail, and city-wise. We can also see by the device type and some of the details that keeps changing. This is by browsers. Some of the system level information we also put in here depending upon different browsers and also the browser version. This is by gender if we have the information. Now this is by campaign. This is very important because we might be running multiple campaigns, and we also want to understand the efficacy of one campaign over the other, and accordingly we set the budget. So there are a bunch of things that we can do here in order to optimize the campaign that on daily basis or on continuous basis that any e-commerce company runs. Now these are the dashboard. There are a bunch of other things like we can go and do the user analysis. Now this is for every individual user, and we would like to see various data points for different users, different page views, and then various other data points. Similarly, the events, since we are ingesting events from more than 200 or 300 data sources, so all those events and their analysis, which time, and some of the information that we can see by doing a drill down from here, and then this goes on. So these are the dashboards which are available by default, but by no means we are restricted to these many dashboards and charts and KPIs. We can always go and customize. So the customize section, here you see the streams, and this lists all the streams that we are ingesting as of now, and then we can actually, if you want to look into individual stream, you can go and look into the details of the stream. You can also figure out the actual JSON structure of the stream and some of the recent data that is ingesting, and then some of the related charts here, and you can directly go to those related charts. Having said that, if suppose we want to add more streams, it's very simple. We start ingesting more data points and then link it to this platform. That's it. Now, after having streams, let's say we want to set up some action. These actions could be notification or in order to automate the action from the platform, we could give an API endpoint also. So for example, if there is a pattern that we want to define, and whenever that pattern is identified, we would like some API to be called so that the automated action, or if we simply want to be notified, we can just select the default notification. This is the chart section, and you can think of normal analysis, comparative, trend, cumulative, and the static analysis. Link data source, this is very important because we like to link internal, external data sources. There are many data sources which are internal to the system, and there are many data sources which are not. So for example, if you want to link some analysis with the premium list of premium customers, we can link those data sources here. Now this could come from log file, this could come from a relational database, or simply directly from other Pixel sources. The custom log, this gives us advantages over the other product in the market, because now I can ingest some of the totally heterogeneous data points which may not directly be linked with the e-commerce, and this actually enables our full stack use cases. So log could be file system log, or it could directly also be consumed from devices using several protocol like SNMP protocol or BACnet protocol or any other protocol. So as you know, the training and the machine learning is directly natively integrated with the platform, so which means that I could go ahead and train a model over here directly. Now the model training could be done in two different ways. One is we could upload the data and train the model, or we could directly take data from the existing streams. All we need to do is just type in the model name, you select the algorithm, you can select the training speed, you can select a stream, or you can upload data file and you say start training. Once you train the model will show up here with the status. If it is done, then it is done. If it is happening, then it will show you the actual state. And then you could see the details of this algorithm. This is more like a PMML file in JSON. So once this JSON is created, we can automate the entire process. So once this is trained, we could say that keep training this model end of every day and auto deploy this next day, first hour in the next day. So the model is always fresh, and there is no human intervention in order to manage the versions of model, creating the model and deployment of the model. We could also test the model here and see how this model is performing. DRS, you can think of this as a S3 kind of a service, which is again natively integrated with the platform. This is our own resource service which runs on the BankDB, and it follows pretty much S3 model. We have similar API and similar concept of bucket, and you can see objects here in the bucket if you upload some of the objects here. Now, having said that, we would also like to do some analysis, and there are different set of analysis that one can do. Number one is stream analysis. So we have so many streams, and we can actually go ahead and keep going deeper and deeper on every stream. We can actually join multiple streams to create another stream, and then we slice and dice data on that stream. We can correlate 2 or 3 different streams, based on our own understanding what we want to achieve. There is an ad hoc query, so we can also use this platform like a BI platform. So this platform, so far what you have seen is that it is continuously monitoring, continuously computing, continuously identifying patterns. But then if you want to treat this platform as a BI platform, we could come here and do some ad hoc query. The predictive place is where you attach model to any given stream. So here, let's say I select some stream and I select the model, and then I put output stream name, and my model is now deployed on a given stream. That's it. And then once the data is flowing into this stream, it will go through the model, and output of that model will become another stream. So we can do all possible kind of things that we have been doing on traditional stream on the output of the predictive model as well. Now, before we go and train a model, we would like to play with the data, and we would like to understand which set of features should be used, what algorithm should be used. So for that, we have linked R tool directly here within the platform, and we can do pretty much most of the functionality is related to R. CP is a complex event processing place. Now this is very important because when we deal with time series data, the CP becomes inevitable. But at the same time, it enables us to do or take care of a lot of complex issues or enable some of the complex use cases. So for example, if you want to enable a pattern in absolute manner, pattern identification in absolute manner, we could come to CP and deal with that. Aggregation is where we would like to slice and dice data. Now there is a drill on a stream if you see. So if you click this drill on a stream, what you see is that it actually shows you the main stream and all the related streams for this particular stream. This is very powerful because when you want to understand why things are happening in one way or the other, you would invariably like to see where is exactly the source of the problem or source of the reason. This drill down gives you ability to do that. There is a drill down and there is a drill through, and there are some of the differences over there. One is explicit, another one is implicit. But this actually gives you powerful technology, a powerful tool in your hand to keep digging deeper until you find the root cause. The long-term analysis is where we actually try to enable the same ad hoc query or the BI kind of activities on a long-term data. Now this is important here for all of us to understand that this tool, this platform can be integrated with, let's say, Hadoop. It could be integrated with some relational databases, and the integration pipeline is bidirectional, which means that we keep pushing data to the RDB or the other external system like Hadoop or HDFS, but this system can also ingest data from those data sources. Now this long-term analysis, if suppose we have a Hadoop cluster setup or a RDB setup, the query will run parallelly on both the systems, and finally it will combine and give you the result. So this is very powerful and gives you the entire view of the data in the way you would like to see. The use case for this demonstration is to show the real-time personalization for an e-commerce company. The iCollect platform is already set up and it is ingesting all the data points from the e-commerce website. Now the idea is to demonstrate how iCollect enables one-on-one personalization for a website. Typically what we see with other tools and systems in the market, we collect data and we understand that data and then we come up with some recommendation which can be applied next time when the user comes on the website. Now this is total shift from that model, and this one is for one-on-one personalization, where the iCollect platform will enable the e-commerce company to target every single individual customers in a different manner. So here what will show you that there is a user who is on the website and he is doing certain things. The iCollect platform is capturing the journey. It is computing the score at every single second using the machine learning model and the AI model internally, which is designed for capturing the data points and computing these scores. And then based on that, we will see if the user gets an offer or not. The important point to note here is that this is very, very flexible. And there is no single target value that is defined for the model. So for example, what we want to do here is that based on the user journey so far, we want to compute how near or far this customer is from the conversion. And what would it take for the e-commerce company to move this customer one step forward towards the conversion? So we need to find a band within which, or a range within which the user should be there at any given point in time, where if the e-commerce company personalizes something, some content, maybe it's price, maybe offer, maybe discount, maybe free delivery, such that he is motivated enough to go to next step. So the model internally is computing the intention level and the level of incentiveness for the user, and based on that, the e-commerce company, it is enabling the e-commerce company to give him personalized offer to move him to the next step. Now we'll start the demo here. So I am the user on this website, and I will select a product here. Now, if you see, this is the user right now. So basically, this is me. This is my session ID, and this is the page where we will see the customer analysis. So what we want to show you is that while we are doing some activities on the website, and for that particular user, how things are changing at the IPLEC level every single second. Now, since we have already selected this session ID here, so the red dot that you see is actually me, and it is showing you that it is actually right now having 0.25 as score. This is the score detail, this is the average score, and then some score information. Beyond that, we will also show you the score analysis part. So if suppose something happens, if let's say I get offer, then why did I get offer? What happened that compelled the e-commerce company to give me offer? So this is for detailed analysis. So let's now see. So I'll be here on this product page, which is iPhone, and I'm going to do certain activities. Since we capture every single event, so the scrolling down and up will also get captured. The viewing up these thumbnails are also events. So I'm doing some random events, and let's see how the score is changing behind this. So if you see, the score has already started moving since I started doing some activity. The score is continue to climb, but right now the score is not enough for me to get a discount, and it tells that I'm too far from the conversion. Now we see here that we have got an offer, we got a discount coupon. Now, if you see, the score was constant for some time, then it started going down, and then it started climbing up, and finally it reached a threshold where the offer could be done. Now let's go and analyze this in a little bit detail. Now we see that this is where we got the offer. Now we'll do the detailed score analysis for this user journey. What happened? Why did you get the offer? Why did the score go down initially? And why did it start jumping up? Now we see that total time spent on the website was 640 seconds. Total number of events was 80. So if you go and click on this, we'll see these are the events done by the user. And at this point in time, the discount pop-up happened. So if I add to cart here, the next we'll see that that activity will get recorded as well. Now, 81 events. You see there is an add to cart. So basically, the offer helped that user to add that item to the cart. You can see one item here. See the cart value. This is the user information, so it uses Safari and macOS. Now this is the score details. So you see that the score was initially constant, and then it went down, and then it started going up, and then finally it is going down as well. It is going down because there is no activity now from my side on the website, so it's naturally going down. Now if you see that even though the events were going higher, the score did not follow the event actually. And this is by design, because it's not about the number of events that a user is performing on the website, but it is a combination of several things. These are the event details. So he clicked, review clicked so many times, total discount pop-up happened at this point in time. See the total thumbnail pop-ups. We did not click on the recommendation, so there is no recommendation. There is no add to cart. Finally, there is an add to cart, so you see that here. So add to cart happened. We did not remove anything from the cart, so there is no removal. And then there is a event page. Now this is the reason for score going down. As a user, I initially went to iPhone, but then I left iPhone and went to Mac. So when I did that, internally it understood that my intention to buy iPhone was now not appropriate. So the score started going down. And then I also went to some other random page, and these two actually contributed towards lowering the score. But finally I went back to the iPhone, and then I started showing some more intention by clicking the thumbnails and reviews and scrolling down. And then the score started climbing up, and finally I got the offer. Now this is the entire traffic flow for the session from beginning till now. So using this score analysis page, one could understand the user journey for every single user, and if someone is getting offer or somebody is not getting offer, then we could reason it out here. And at the same time, on this page, we could see the journey for every single user. So this concludes the demonstration of doing the real-time one-on-one personalization for any website using iCollect platform. Thank you.